What to do if you feel stuck and lost in life? Maybe you are not happy with your friends, with your financial situation, with the place where you live, with the overall future. You're concerned what's going to happen in a year, in 2 years. You do not have really a direction in your work, in your career, with your dating life. And generally speaking, let's say you feel like you don't have a lot of energy, you're not excited, you're not motivated to get up in the morning and go do something. You just kind of feel overall like emotional weight, maybe depression, and overall like lack of interest in life in general, because everything seems gray, tasteless, and hopeless. I believe one of the most important things in this situation is to realize that reality dictates your feelings and your situation, and it dictates what you believe is possible, what you can do, what you can achieve, the type of person you are. Maybe it says you're introverted and shy and disconnected from the world and you're a loser, and that's how it's supposed to be. But be careful, because it can be just dictated by your reality. So I want to dive a little bit deeper on this concept of reality and what that really means. And kind of, it's a very simple thing. This is not some kind of like crazy video with like insane information or something like that, but most of these things are really kind of common sense. Although I feel like even simple common sense is kind of... So the main concept of reality, basically these are all of the things in your life. It includes the type of food you eat, the type of information you receive, when you go to bed, what kind of job you have, do you have friends, are you happy when you get back home, are you excited for the Friday, are you excited for the Monday, do you feel like your parents love you, do you feel like you have genuine friends that you can trust and you can share ideas with. It includes just overall information and type of lifestyle that kind of like feeds you and your energy, your life energy, so to say. So for that matter, you can understand if, let's say, your situation is that your job, it kind of poisons you a little bit. You feel like, well, yeah, I'm making like a good salary, but I'm not really happy here, and the bosses and managers, they're so annoying and irritating. It affects your mental health, so it kind of like drags you down slowly. It's a very dangerous thing, because that can poison you. And if let's say if your mind is poisoned, now you will start doubting yourself. Are you even worth making more money? Can you even make more money? Can you even leave this company and go find another job? Maybe nobody even wants you. This is the only place and you just got lucky to get the spot. So you should just be afraid and stay on this job and never leave it, and just like hope that they'll treat you better at some point, while they overload you with like more complex tasks, give you things that you're not supposed to do, and pay you less and less and less money as the inflation goes up. So be aware that if you get stuck in this kind of world, let me bring another example. Let's say you're dating a person and they're very destructive towards you. They give you, let's say, good stuff, they treat you nice sometimes, but then the other times they scream at you, they abuse you, they verbally abuse you, they give you all kinds of like horrible feedback and like just request lots of things from you, and if you don't give that to them, they say that you're a horrible person, you're awful, and they like keep attacking you. So you're slowly being like poisoned and destroyed. And if you keep that in your reality, it will just grow there over time, and it will only like enhance your condition that you have right now. So if you are becoming weaker, you will be more weaker. If you feel unmotivated, you will be even more unmotivated. If you feel like you got nothing to do in life, you will feel like you're completely useless. You will literally feel like this world doesn't need you, which is the worst type of thing that can happen to a person. And all of these things are just a part of like your life situation, kind of. Again, this entire thing is just structured on your reality, so to say. So one of the best things that you can do to fight that is change the reality, and this includes changing basically everything in your environment, within your social circle, with the type of food you eat, with the type of information you receive, and all those other things. So for example, let's say if you get to your home right away after you get off the job, and you go straight to like order some, let's say, like food delivery, and you start playing video games as a relaxing method, maybe try changing that with doing something slightly different. And this slightly different might shift your reality, because it will slowly change how you think, how you see yourself, what you believe in, what you think is possible, and even like the amount of energy you have in the morning or in the evening, or how fast you fall asleep. And again, as I said before, this is kind of a common sense thing, but it's very easy to get stuck in a loop that just holds you there, and it becomes heavier and heavier every single day. And at some point you would just feel like you cannot leave, like, because nothing seems possible. Like, there is no other job opportunity, there is no other place that you can go. You cannot go because like everything becomes so far away and so unreachable for you, even in terms of finances, or even like papers, documents, visas, if we're talking about traveling. So this is a huge aspect of it. And another simpler thing, let's say if you are stuck in one city or one country, I think this is a huge thing where you just pack your bags and go to another city, or ideally another country that is like as different as like feasibly possible from the place that you live in, to destroy your loop that you live in, to destroy the existing reality that is not healthy for you, and shape and build something new, something that is entirely different. I can tell you, so for example, a couple of days ago, literally, I was traveling through Helsinki, and it's a totally different place. There is snow everywhere. It's like it has like heavy rains, there's wind. It's just not a nice spot to be in at this time of the year. And comparing that to this situation, or let's say this country or this place that I'm in right now, these places are not comparable. Like, I feel just like happier, healthier here. I actually sleep so much better here, and yeah, it just feels way different. I have, I guess, very, very different thoughts, and it's just a lot easier to, I don't know, deal with problems, find solutions, focus on things, kind of organize my day and plan the future, and like do really like everything becomes easier. And also again, there's even more energy. Like, I can do a lot more physical stuff, like going hiking 3-4 days in a row in different mountains, and I feel completely fine. I have, let's say, a couple of like little traumas on my legs, but that's not a big deal. Like, I can still go, and I'm really happy and joyful here. And this really comes, it doesn't come out of like thin air, of out of nowhere, like all of a sudden I feel so great, I want to do it. It does come from the reality change. And then my biggest message is that your reality is entirely in your control. So, and by the way, it does not have to be something like you have to leave your country and go somewhere very far for like something like, I don't know, something super expensive, or something that's really difficult, for example, for your job. But you can really do small things, like notice how you manage your time. Notice what you do when you got like a free second on your job. Do you try to like avoid everything and kind of like get distracted, or you're actually focused on your job? Like, notice the small signals or small messages that show like, are you really enjoying, are you really in the zone, on the spot, or you just feel kind of disconnected from everything, and you kind of like, oh well, yeah, I wish to get off the job as early as I can. To change your reality, you don't need to travel to some other like super expensive spot or somewhere far away. You can literally stay in your place if you want that, or if you, let's say, have difficulties for now to leave the country that you're in. But you can change the way you live there. You can change your reality wherever you are. And it can be done from changing very small things. For example, you can just simply take a different route to your job and back home, just slightly differently. If you take your like public transport, just leave the bus or the transport a couple of stops earlier and just walk to your place. Maybe you'll say hi to extra couple of people here and there. Maybe you'll notice something about your spot. Maybe you will see like a shop or another place where you can go in and maybe find something interesting there. And this adds a little bit of color to your day-to-day life. And more importantly, it slowly changes your reality. The way you feel will change, your emotions will change. And then you can start noticing more things about yourself and your life and kind of patterns that you're stuck in. And also, I want to say one more thing. All of this that I'm saying, it might sound like a complete BS. It's just like, yeah, whatever, some guy sitting on a rock somewhere, like in like bushes or cactuses, and like, oh yeah, cool, whatever, good for you. But listen, I actually kind of agree with you. Like, this is kind of bullshit. But if you do feel like it's like life is kind of like the same and you want to change, but you kind of don't know how, then the absolute best thing that you can do is start like documenting your day, or specifically your hours. So if you get up at 8, write that down. Like, I woke up at 8 and I just rushed to my job and I was late to the bus, and like then I spent like 6, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours on my job, and I talked with this guy, I felt like this, came back home. So document that. That's your one day. Keep documenting for a week or for a month, and then go back to it and actually look. And if you see the same patterns that you're in every single day, it shows you your loop or your reality that you're stuck in. And there is no escape out of this if you don't start changing things. Like, if you get stuck in the loop or in this reality that I call it, nothing like exciting or nothing that is outside of your reality is gonna all of a sudden appear inside your world. Like, if you're dreaming of a yacht or a Lamborghini, talking about yachts, if you dream about like one of those and you're just kind of like stuck doing the same things, that thing is not gonna appear like all of a sudden. You're like, oh yeah, cool, tomorrow I'm buying a yacht. That's just not gonna happen. It's gonna be like your dream forever, and then your life is over. And that's the worst kind of thing. So don't be stuck. And this is, again, I think this concept is so simple to the levels of like every single self-help, self-development type of thing is just built on this like huge concept of just change. It's like changing reality, changing who you are, noticing things about yourself and changing them. And again, it's super simple, but this is such a big concept, and it's like everyone kind of understands it, and yet then kind of nobody follows it. Nobody really does that. And I'm not sure why. Maybe it sounds like it's so BS that like, oh, that's not gonna change anything. But what else do you have? Like, do you have anything else that gives you like hope that you can make your life better? So I would say at least this thing works in the sense of it gives you hope, and you actually have control. Like, you actually have a chance to change things. So if you keep changing it, if you keep changing your life for the better, then eventually you will become happier in your world, in your loop, or in your reality. It's like, again, it's such a simple thing, but I feel like it's a very, like, it runs a lot deeper in terms of how we operate and how we do things in general. And I want to say it doesn't only apply to someone, let's say, that who is not happy with their life and they're stuck in some country that doesn't pay a lot of money, so they're financially not happy. Maybe again, opportunity wise, that's also kind of connected to finances. Maybe dating wise, they're not happy, so they're just looking for a better opportunity. It does not only apply to these people, it also applies to a person who is like extremely wealthy, but they're just non-stop working, just like working on and on and on and on, and like you don't feel happy at that point because your like the numbers in your bank account, they keep going up. So that's awesome, but that's the only thing that happens in your life. Everything else is stress, work, lots of like burning your mental power, and like trying to sleep, trying to like eat, and again back to work, focusing on like doing different things. That's also not a good life. So a person who is stuck in that reality also has a lot of problems. Maybe a person that is stuck in like constantly jumping from like partner to partner in terms of dating, that's also not a good reality to be in, because if you seek some, I guess, something deeper or some kind of comfort, that's never gonna come from jumping and staying in this loop of constantly changing partners. So it's important to notice your patterns and like what are you actually doing in your life with your time and with your energy. How is it being spent? And if it is being spent in a very poor way, then why continue doing that? Like, that makes completely no sense. So then start actually changing things. Start actually, like, I guess the first thing is to really just audit your day, audit your month, audit your hours to see like, okay, yes, I get it. I come from my job that I hate, and then I'm just trying to like eat as much like food that I can to just feel a little bit better, and then I'm trying to stay like awake as long as possible, playing video games or watching something, or even like, I don't know, hanging out, chilling, like maybe partying and things like that. And then the morning comes and I hate it, and then I want to go back to my job, and it's like, I don't want to do that, but I have to. But if I won't do it, then I'm gonna get fired. So everything becomes heavy and difficult and destructive. So notice, like, why do you feel the need to like stimulate yourself so heavily when you get home after your job? Why do you need to eat so much? Because it gives you so much energy, and with so much energy, it's hard for you to fall asleep. So when it's hard to fall asleep, it will be hard to get up, and you will have no energy in the morning because your entire body just wasted burning all of that food in your body, and now you don't have anything in the morning. Like you're completely like off balance in that sense. So again, it's a really big deal to notice the loops that you're stuck in, and then just try to at least do small changes to them. And again, small changes could be something as simple as reading a little book or a little like paragraph or just a chapter in a book instead of scrolling through TikTok. It literally just that can be enough, because you're actually starting to feed healthier information back into your brain compared to just like numbing yourself down and watching these endless videos, and like that gives you nothing. And also remember, the information that you receive is also a part of your reality. So if you have, let's say, in your world, in your environment, you have someone who tells you you can do it, you're smart, you're talented, you have everything you need to accomplish like the greatest things in life, you will be a lot more positive and more open towards taking the risk and seeing different ideas and actually taking the action to try and test and experiment, compared to if you have a person that always tells you you can't, you're a loser, you will never do anything done. And unfortunately, like, this could be your parent, your spouse, someone you're dating, your friends. If that happens, you need to break that. You need to get out of that loop, because it is destroying you slowly. And you cannot allow, like, the price is way too high to trade your life like that, to just burn it and waste it on some people abusing you and like taking away your potential and just energy and like life energy. That's literally like the time and life that you have. So don't let others do that. And again, the first thing is just notice the reality that you're stuck in, and just look for at least small things that you can change, and then move on to maybe like bigger things and bigger things. And also, as you're changing, notice how maybe by like, instead of going to the bar, you go to the sauna, and all of a sudden you feel a lot more refreshed and you sleep a little bit better, and you're like, oh yeah, like I feel more motivated, maybe I have a little bit more energy, or your thoughts are becoming a lot more clear. So that's the reality that you want to live in. So switch the like design of your day, design of your hours towards that, to become just more balanced and more productive. That's a really big deal. That's a really, really big part of just generally living like a worthy life. And yeah, so these are just some of the words that I really wanted to share. This concept of reality, I always keep sharing with my friends and kind of reminding myself,